Greetings, dear Earthlings. Today we would like to talk with you about our future together, which we look forward to. As soon as you cross the vibrational boundary beyond which our personal contact becomes possible, we will be happy to meet you to help you get comfortable with the new realities for you. Outwardly, we are almost no different from you, which will probably be a pleasant surprise for you. And this is explained by the fact that in our galaxy we are the closest relatives of Earthlings. There is our seed in your genome, because our ancestors once chose planet Earth as their second home, but they still could and settled down on it completely, but left their mark in your DNA along with other civilizations. The memory of this relationship has always lived in our hearts, and we did not lose touch with the Earth, carefully watching the events taking place on it, the change of civilizations, historical eras, geographical changes. In ancient times, in the heyday of mankind, we had the opportunity to telepathic communication with people, but as your vibrations fell, this connection was broken. And just now people have reappeared who are capable of perceiving information at the level of subtle senses, to which we are extremely happy. When the Earth finally enters the fifth dimension, people who will be able to follow it will face many surprises. And it seems to us that you will be pleased to learn that you are members of a truly huge galactic family from the depths of your memory, from which the seal of the three-dimensional world will be removed. Images of your ancestors and your previous incarnations on the most different planets of our galaxy will begin to emerge. You realize how multidimensional your soul is, this divine hypostasis, which is able to incarnate in different bodies, on different planets and in different dimensions. You will be able to penetrate the information bank of your soul in order to relive its most vivid incarnations and realize all its greatness, wealth and wisdom. You will follow the long winding path of your soul, which is based on its only desire to gain invaluable experience of life in all its different manifestations. And if now it seems fiction to you, then once you are in a world of high vibrations, you will see how diverse and harmonious is our universe. The great experiment of the Creator to translate the whole planet into another dimension is a priceless gift not only for you Earthlings, but for all your galactic brothers and sisters. This will give us the opportunity to find the long-awaited spiritual and physical integrity, because it will allow many twin flames living on different planets to finally find their soulmate, which all inhabitants of the galaxy dream of. And believe me, dear, a lot of your halves are embodied now on the planet Arcturus. We love you very much and look forward to meeting you. The Council of Elders Arcturus spoke with you on behalf of all the inhabitants of our planet. Greetings, our dear Earthlings. We have come to you today to tell you about the nature of our work here on Earth. It is a very crucial period of time on Earth now, when the reconstruction of the entire system of human values and the consciousness of the people is happening, but at the same time the events of the material plane continue to develop. According to the old scenario, these events do not fulfill the expectations of the people, and do not catch up with the growth in the human consciousness, and it has resulted in a certain imbalance between the subtle matrix of humanity and its physical form. It is similar to the locomotive which tries to push forward a long train, but its rail cars stay in one place, like they are attached to the rails. And that's why it happening. The consciousness of the people, which from 2012 have started to transform very fast, already have reached the point of no return and cannot return to its previous level, even if it cannot be seen on a dense plane. This is because the consciousness of the people, like their bodies, exists simultaneously on different planes. Let's try to imagine the clouds, which appear in the skies in several layers. The densest and heaviest clouds are closer to Earth, the fluffier ones are higher, and the higher ones are completely rarefied, almost transparent. Let them symbolize our consciousness, which exists simultaneously in the different levels of vibrations. Its densest levels accepts things happening on Earth as being adequate, normal and logical. The level of consciousness that is a grade higher rejects all the human acts which are contrary to the divine laws of the universe. And the highest level of vibrations is already unable to perceive the actions transpiring on Earth, which carry the low vibrations, because it is staying in the vibrations of the fifth dimension, where duality do not exist. And our task consists of the balancing of all the levels of your consciousness, which means maintaining your psychological state, which helps you to shift into a new reality smoothly and harmoniously. And now it has become especially important, because it depends on every person with which speed and with what kind of losses your Earth would enter into the space of the fifth dimension, throwing off the burdens of the third dimensional world. What do we do to achieve that? To make it very short, we level the energies of the different layers of vibrations of your consciousness to the average vibrations. It would allow you to perceive everything that's happening on Earth naturally, without the excessive stresses, and on the level, which is the most comfortable for you, which would reveal that picture of the events that your consciousness is able to accept at the current moment. For example, someone would see only a danger for one's life in the war conflict, another one a political reason, and a third one a deep esoteric reason for this conflict. In other words, we bring your consciousness to a certain average level of perception, but all the nuances you perceive yourself, like someone who tunes in the short waves, someone in medium, and someone in the long ones. We hope that we succeeded in explaining an essence of our work, which is so important for you now. The Council of the Elders of the planet Arcturus spoke with you today. Our dear people, today I will tell you about how the Galactic Federation of Light arose and on what principles it exists. It was created at the request of the Creator as the unifying beginning of all the light forces of our galaxy. It includes not only representatives of various planets, but also ascended masters, archangels, and even angels, who came from very high dimensions. We have a peculiar code of honor, which reflects the main principles on which the Galactic Federation of Light is based. And now I will list them for you. Love lies at the heart of every action of Federation members. Galaxy is our common home. We are all beloved children of the Creator. The interests of all members of the Federation are equal. Non-interference in each other's affairs. Collective decision-making. Equality and brotherhood. Meetings of the Galactic Federation of Light are held only when an urgent need arises, and they can be held on different planets. As a rule, the Federation consists of representatives of the Councils of Elders, that is, the most respected, wise and experienced residents of various planets and civilizations. If there are several civilizations on a planet, then representatives of each of them take part in the Galactic Council. There are rare exceptions, when civilizations of different levels of development dwell on the same planet, such as on your planet. And in this case, representatives of only those civilizations that have risen in their spiritual development not lower than the fifth dimension can enter the Galactic Federation of Light. On planet Earth, this is a civilization of dolphins and whales, as well as an underwater civilization, which you still do not know. Their representatives are members of our Federation. The number of participants in the Federation is unstable, since during periods of calm there is no need for its large membership. When something serious happens that hurts many, additional participants are connected so that we have a complete and clear picture of the events taking place. In the event of a threat from civilizations unfriendly to us, a general mobilization is announced, and the Military Council is connected to our work, which is created only for the period to repel this threat. As you see, we have a very flexible system built on the immediate needs of a particular civilization. What is the purpose of our work? First, the maintenance of peace in our galaxy and protection from the invasion of the dark forces and hostile civilizations. Secondly, the exchange of experience and technology. Third, help our galactic brothers in the event of natural disasters and man-made disasters. At present, the State Fiscal Service conducts its work mainly on your twin planet Gloria, and the main subject of our discussion is ascension of the Earth and assistance to Earthlings. But this time we have an unusual job, because we will have to provide assistance on our own initiative and only to those inhabitants of your planet whose vibrations will allow to accept this help and who are ready to go to the fifth dimension along with the Earth. And we, in turn, really hope for your support, our dear lightworkers. Ashtar Sharon spoke to you on behalf of the Galactic Federation of Light. Greetings, we are Arcturians. A very crucial period has begun, when there is a restructuring of the system of values in the human mind. But at the same time, the events of the material plane continue to evolve according to the old scenario. They do not meet the expectations of the person, do not keep pace with this changing consciousness. And this led to the fact that a certain imbalance was formed between the thin material matrix of humanity and its physical form. This is similar to how the locomotive is trying to budge the long train, but the cars are standing still, as if tightly attached to the rails. And this is why it happens. The consciousness of people, which, beginning in 2012, begin to transform at a rather rapid pace, has already passed the point of no return and cannot return to its previous level, even if this is not yet visible on the dense plane. The fact is that the consciousness of man, like his body, exists simultaneously in different planes. Try to imagine the clouds, located on the sky in several rows. Closest to the ground are heavy, dense clouds, just above fluffy, even higher, completely sparse, almost transparent, and let them symbolize your consciousness, which is simultaneously at different levels of vibrations. Its most dense level perceives what is happening on the ground quite adequately as usual and explicable. A higher level of consciousness rejects all human actions that run counter to the divine laws of the universe. And the highest level is no longer capable of perceiving the actions occurring on Earth that carry low vibrations, since they are in the energies of the fifth dimension, where there is no duality. And our task is to balance all levels of your consciousness, and therefore your psychological state, which will help you to harmoniously and smoothly move into a new reality for you. Now it becomes especially important, because it depends on each person with what speed and with what losses your Earth will enter the space of the fifth dimension, throwing off the ballast of the energies of the three-dimensional world. What are we doing for this? Briefly, we align the energy of consciousness to medium vibrations, thereby reducing the gap between the energies of different layers. This will allow you organically, without undue stress, to perceive everything that happens on Earth at the level that is most comfortable for you, and which will manifest the picture of what is happening that your mind is able to accept at the moment. For example, one of you will see in a military conflict only a threat to your life, another political background, the third deep esoteric causes of this conflict. In other words, we bring your consciousness to a certain average frequency of perception, but all the nuances you catch are tuned to someone for short waves, someone for medium ones, and someone for long ones. We hope we managed to explain the essence of our work, which is now very important for you. The Council of Elders of the planet Arcturus has spoken to you today.